pleasure to welcome you here tonight to the world premiere of the original series, Marvel's The Defenders. Apologize for whoever has to sit behind my culture tonight. Alright, have fun. 4 years ago, we formed an unprecedented partnership with Marvel, setting out to make 4 individual streetwise heroes, culminating this moment with the Defenders. That partnership has surpassed what any of us had expected around the world. These shows are huge hits everywhere we go. We couldn't be more proud of doing this together. So first, let me acknowledge our partners at Marvel and thank Dan Buckley, Jeff Lowe, Jim Fuller, Joe Quesada, and Jim Brent. Thank you, Marvel. Having watched all these shows now and then watching tonight, it would be very hard to imagine how abstract this idea was. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to make 4 series, and they're going to roll up into a super series of them together. And each of those may have multiple seasons, and then some of them may spin up to more shows. It was a ton of vision for a 1-hour meeting. So Jeff, thank you for bringing that to us. So everybody knows for Defenders, but New York City has always been the 5th Defender. New York provides us a rich environment for our stories, but more importantly, this is where we get the incredible crews that make this show possible. They work so hard on these shows, the best crews in the world, in New York City. If you worked on Marvel shows, please stand up and wave. The crew here tonight, come on. Big round of support. Continued support, but we could not be here tonight. I'd like to thank the showrunner and executive producer, Marco Ramirez. From the beginning, working on season 1 of Daredevil, and has skillfully woven this world of 4 characters into one. S.J. Clarkson, the director of the 2 episodes we're going to see tonight. We'd also like to thank Doug Petrie, Lauren Schmidt, and Drew Goddard for their vision throughout this whole show. So much of the great cast is here tonight. So please make them feel welcome. Ika Darnville, Scott Glenn, Elsa Henson, Jessica Hennick, Jermaine Mitchell, Sherry Ann Moss, David Van Wall, Rosario Johnson, Ellen Young, and of course, the Defenders.
Yeah!
Ian Jones, Nick Coulter, and Charlie Cox. Unfortunately, not able to join us, we just want to thank them for everything they did. Rachel Taylor and Sigourney Weaver, you'll see them tonight. And a big shout-out to the team that makes this happen day in and day out. The great Cindy Holland, head of the original series. Her incredible team, Howard Goss, Chris Hennigan, Alice Engel, the marketing and business team to make this all happen so that the whole world knows that The Defenders is coming to Netflix in 190 countries. And this is the must-see television event of the summer. You need to see it first. So enjoy the first 2 episodes of The Defenders.
So we got out of the premiere and it was like 9:30. So we had to quick run so that we could get dinner. And we just finished dinner and I ate a bunch of vegan wings. And now we are heading home so I can talk about the show. Keister here. So I just got back from the world premiere of Netflix and Marvel's series, The Defenders. So at this event, I got to see 2 episodes of the upcoming show. It was a really neat and interesting experience. This was not like a Comic-Con panel or anything like that. This was the world premiere. So most of the audience there were people that were associated with the show, the actors, the cast, the producers, things like that. But it was a really cool experience because I got to see the actors interacting with each other, and everybody was hugging and everybody was excited and everybody was congratulating, and it didn't feel like a lot of fan service or anything like that. So it was just a really cool experience, and I'm really glad I got to see it. So since I was lucky enough to get to be able to see the show early, I figured some of you might be interested in knowing a little bit more about it. I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but rather I just wanted to give 3 helpful hints on ways that if you want to watch the new Defender series that comes out on August 18th, here's 3 helpful hints for ways that might make it a more enjoyable experience for you. So number 1 is that the Defenders are tying together the 4 different Netflix series that have come out via the Marvel Netflix universe. That's a better way to say it. So those are Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. So of those 4, I would say probably the question is, how much of that do you have to have seen or be familiar with? So what I'll say is that of those 4 series, really the only important ones, and not even necessarily important, you can watch without these, but I'd say if you watch Daredevil season 2 and you watch Iron Fist, you're going to have a greater idea of the scope of what's going on in this series. Like I said, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, so I can't speak to the long scale story arc or narrative of what's happening. But from what it feels like so far, Daredevil season 2 and Iron Fist are going to be the series that are kind of picking up, or the Defenders are picking up after where those left off. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are 2 of my favorite series from this kind of world, but they're not really going into the kind of concepts and ideas and villains that I feel like we're probably going to see more of in the Defenders. So of the series, if you wanted to rewatch any of them before going into the show, I would say watch Daredevil season 2 and watch Iron Fist. So tip number 2, in a similar vein, is New York City in general. Now, the man who gave the speech, I want to say who's probably from Netflix, who gave the speech before the premiere, mentioned that New York City is the 5th Defender. Now, I've been lucky enough to live in New York for like 8 or 9 years at this point. I went to see this in New York. I traveled there by subway from where I live in New York, so I was a little bit more familiar with it. But for those of you who are not from New York City or don't know New York City very well, I would suggest it might be smart to like kind of look at a map beforehand and understand that where when one of the characters says upstate or New Rochelle, what they mean by that. Each of these different series is kind of taking on a different area of New York City, but they were kind of staying central to that area. So like Luke Cage was set in Harlem and they were focusing on Harlem. Daredevil was supposed to be taking place in Hell's Kitchen, and that's kind of where they were tying a lot of this stuff to. Iron Fist jumped around a bunch, and Jessica Jones was kind of like, I guess, the financial district. But they kind of stuck to their neighborhoods and their areas and their turfs. But this show is combining all of these neighborhoods. So it's important to know that like Harlem is far away from the financial district, that Brooklyn is not next to Hell's Kitchen. These are things that are, although you don't need to know them, knowing this kind of geography of New York City will probably help you to appreciate these series more and to understand it, because basically this series is going to be tying together different parts of New York City as the Defenders defend New York City. So take some time to look at a map of New York City and understand that, the way things are run in Harlem is going to be different than the way things are being run in the financial district or Chelsea or Hell's Kitchen or anything like that. So tip number 3 is to know that this, in a similar vein, is a show that is combining the kind of different genres of these different Netflix series. So all of the different shows had a different kind of tone to them. So like Jessica Jones had kind of a crime noir. Luke Cage was definitely kind of a blaxploitation feel to it. Iron Fist kind of goes into like a mysticism as well as kind of kung fu 70s style, things like that. So when combining that with just like the crime fighting kind of typical more superhero-ness of Daredevil, you're getting four very different genre feels and aesthetics and styles. Now, the director of the series did some stylistic decisions on how to kind of tie these together. I don't want to give away any spoilers, and I feel some of them were very effective and some of them were not as effective, and just in my opinion. But that might not you might really like them and appreciate kind of the way that this was shot and tied together. Also, this was the first two episodes where we're seeing these characters and then figuring out how they're going to interact and join together. So I don't know if these stylistic choices will continue, especially as different directors come on for different episodes, I'm assuming. But it's something to go in knowing that this is a show that's tackling a lot. It's tackling four different series and combining them all together. Unlike the Avengers, where it was a movie that was like a 2 hour movie combined with another 2 hour movies, these are series. These are things where it's like 13 hours combined with another thing that's 13 hours, combined with another thing that's 26 hours for Daredevil in this case. So you're having to combine a lot. So go in knowing that this was a hardy task and they have made certain aesthetic choices with which to help us to understand these worlds coming together. And whether or not those will stay, I don't know. But it was definitely something that stood out to me. So that being said, I'm super excited to continue watching The Defenders when it comes out on August 18th. It has an amazing cast filled with really great acting. Some new characters. You get a lot of cameos from old characters. I don't know how long they're going to stay together. Rosario Dawson is amazing in the show, and I'm really excited to see as she, Claire, or Night Nurse, played a role in each of the different series. I'm really excited to see how she's going to be a part of this series. But if you're interested in watching it, I hope that you get a chance to and you enjoy it. And I would love to know your thoughts on the series as it's going on. You can always leave comments down below with thoughts or theories and things like that. And if you liked this video, give it a like, or if you want to subscribe. My channel up to this point has just basically been burlesque videos with a few behind the scenes things, but I'm thinking of getting more into this kind of vlogging stuff. So if this is something you'd like, comment below and let me know, or subscribe and we'll kind of see where this goes. But thank you all for following along with this journey as I got to see the world premiere of The Defenders, the new Netflix series coming out on August 18th. And hope to talk and see some of y'all around soon. Bye.